Looking for family-friendly activities in the Roanoke Valley?
Stay tuned to find out. Hey everybody, I'm Hal Cohn.
And I'm Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
If this happens to be your first time to our channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so you're notified each and every time that we release a new video about living, working, and playing in Roanoke, Virginia.
That's right. Roanoke is such an incredible place to live. We have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, or surrounding areas. So if that's you, your friends, or your family, get in touch with us. We'd love to have a conversation, see how we can help you, and answer any questions you may have. You're welcome to call us, text us, or email us.
Yep, we'll see you soon. All right, so as most of you know that have watched our videos, we have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old daughter. And so today we're going to talk about kid-friendly activities in Roanoke, Virginia. And we are at Kids Square in downtown Roanoke.
Yeah, Kids Square is this amazing facility right here in center in the square. You've heard us say that there's lots of family-friendly activities in Roanoke Valley. This is just one of them, and this is like the mothership.
Yes,
I
it
would
is.
say. Kids Square is this wonderful pretend city where you have all kinds of different places to explore, play, and learn. That's their theme, that's their goal. And as we're walking through, we're just kind of giving you a little visual tour. You'll see different areas throughout this miniature city that are sponsored by various local businesses. There are places like a bank. We just passed by a bank here. Kroger, so the kids could get a feel for shopping. That would be awesome. You know, if I can send my kids to the grocery store and shop pretty soon, that would be a win-win.
That would be, absolutely.
But these are everyday skills that the children will need as they grow. There's a little mock home back here. We've got a dentist office, a veterinarian office. That's one of our children's favorites, the veterinarian's office, and also things like an ambulance. They can race their cars down the street all the way to the dentist or to school. We've got Roanoke Catholic School here, and a really incredible playground, and there's restaurants, all kinds, whatever you can imagine in a city. They've got it here, and it's fantastic. They even have construction and car dealerships and mechanics, so really let your children's imagination soar.
Oh, and let's not forget about the fire truck.
Oh, the fire truck.
Oh, there it is. Yay, fire truck.
So we've had multiple requests for people wanting to know more about family-friendly activities in the Roanoke Valley, and really we couldn't think of anyone better to tell you about family fun than the family fun expert herself, Beth Bell.
Thanks, Chris. Hey guys, so I'm Beth Bell, the publisher of MACARONI Code Roanoke. We are celebrating over 10 years of sharing all the family fun there is to be had in the Roanoke Valley.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And sometimes it's pretty cool because MACARONI Kid is a national publication. A lot of times when you're moving here from another city, like, oh wow, that's awesome. I had MACARONI Kid in my town. So we are a great resource if you're trying to find all the things to do with kids, from free and low cost events.
Love that.
Love that. Really comprehensive event calendar. A free weekly newsletter that includes the week's highlights and some information about area activities and businesses. Things like where to have a birthday party or where to send your kid to summer camp. We try to be an all-inclusive resource.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. It truly is a resource. I love that because each week I get it in my email box, and there's all kinds of interesting, fun, out-of-the-box activity ideas, craft ideas, and just general things to keep it grounded as a parent. Resources, help, and just comfort of like, hey, you're not alone.
Right.
So like we told you before, there's always something going on. So do you want to expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. You know, what a lot of people find when they move here is how many free festivals and events we have that are family friendly. They begin in March with the St. Patty's Festival in downtown Roanoke. It's fun. And then it goes all the way through Christmas season with Dickens of a Christmas.
Yes.
Which is the first 3 Fridays in December. And they do things like roasting chestnuts, you see strolling characters, there's always a really fun kids zone. It looks a little different this year, but normally you can actually sled in the streets of downtown Roanoke.
That is so cool. And the shops stay open longer so you can buy local, support local. But like she said, I mean, really festivals and things almost every weekend, from races and family walks and races all the way to like Strawberry Festival.
Right.
Just there's always something going on for the family.
So my favorite one is actually the Local Colors Festival because it highlights the diversity that we have here. There's over 100 countries represented that weekend. There's a parade of colors, which is amazing. Everyone's in their native dress. And then all the food you could think of.
I bet. That would be so good.
I love it.
All right, so let's tell you about an outdoor activity that's really close to the city center, which is Mill Mountain, Star, and Park up on top of the mountain that you see when you drive through on 581.
Yeah, so I think when people think about Roanoke, they think about the Star on the mountain.
Definitely.
Star City.
That's right.
Yeah, in the Mill Mountain Park, there is also Mill Mountain Zoo. And when my children were little, I told them the only way to get there was to hike up the trail to the Star.
Oh, that's good.
So it would take a whole day of it.
That's great. So the trail is pretty extensive for little legs, but it's a fun little hike, right?
It's not so bad. I think it's like, a little over a mile long. It has some steep spots, but nothing that the kids can't do.
And if you don't want to hike up, you can actually drive.
It's not true that you have to hike up.
That's right. I bet they were surprised when you drove them up, like, what, Mom?
It's a parking lot.
Yeah.
That's funny. But you can drive up to Mill Mountain Star and the park area there. It's so fantastic up there. There's so much to do as a family. And you can see the Roanoke skyline behind us a little bit. But I'm telling you what, this is nothing compared to the view you're going to see at the top. It is absolutely gorgeous. You see the whole valley stretched out before you. And what other things can you do while you're up there?
You can go to the zoo so you can see animals, some of the native animals that are indigenous to the area. Big word for holiday. And then you've also got trails you can walk around and meander through to check out vegetation and flowers, have a picnic. And like she said, you've got the platform so you can just see an amazing, my word, amazing view of the Roanoke Valley.
There's also lots of mountain biking trails.
Oh yeah, don't forget about mountain
That's
biking.
cool.
We are the East Coast mountain biking capital of the United States.
There you go.
Right.
So
And the Discovery Center.
Yes. And you know what's really neat? If you go up to the Star, they have a webcam. So you can call your friends and your family and say, hey, check me out in real time. And they can see the beautiful view behind you too. So that's a really fun thing to do. Talking about the zoo, it was established first in 1952. The Star itself was put up on the mountain as a holiday promotion, and the citizens loved it so much in 1949, they said, don't take it down. So it's been there ever since. I think that's really cool. But the zoo was founded in 1952. It was revamped and given a facelift in 1978, and they have lots of animals to go explore. A lot of programs too. We've been to breakfast with the animals. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and scavenger hunts, and they do summer camps with the kids, which are really popular.
That would be fun. I think they had a night howls program. So
for the adults.
yeah.
You can have brewskis and check out the animals at the same time with some live music, I believe.
So check out, there's lots, if you can't tell, there's lots to do on top of Mill Mountain Park at the Star.
All right, for those of you who have watched our videos in the past, you know that Roanoke was founded basically, was a boom town because of the railroad. So see the railroad right back there, that's the 611. So a kid-friendly activity for y'all to do is gonna be to hang out at the Transportation Museum. It's 2 stories, and you're gonna get to see everything from planes, trains, and automobiles. You're gonna get inside of them, you're gonna get to see them, you're gonna get to stand beside the big steam engines, and they are just massive and just crazy. And then what else is there that I'm missing there?
Yeah, so they have indoor and outdoor. The outdoor is where you actually climb through the trains, which is really popular.
Yes.
There's also a massive village. There's 2 of them. One is a surface village, and then one is just a regular, like the town, the train. But it takes up like the whole room, so it's really huge. And kids love spending time fighting all the things there. You can watch movies while you're there, scavenger hunts, things like that.
That's fun. And then there's actually a rocket outside that I remember seeing. And you got the caboose outside too. And then if you see right there, that's the depiction of the 611 steam engine, right?
Right, and you can actually book trips on that in
Yeah.
normal times.
Right, yeah. Right now they're not doing them, but for those of you who are transportation, specifically railroad buffs, you're going to want to make sure you come here and have a tour, a riding tour on the 611, which will take you down memory lane.
And they also have special events throughout the year that are family friendly, like the Candy Cane Express, where you can actually ride a train there as well.
All right, so we're still here at Kids Square. There's just so many exhibits to see.
Yeah.
This one behind us is a little sensory board, and it's very artistic. Nice, Beth.
I know, right? Very distracting.
But this reminds us of TAUBMAN Museum of Art, which is one of my favorite places to go. You know, it's a pretty manageable art museum, and so you could, what we usually do is take our kids through the art museum, which has permanent and changing displays, and check that out. And then we head down to Art Venture, which is a really neat place for kids.
Yeah, and I think the TAUBMAN does a really good job of creating family-friendly displays.
That's true.
You know, in the past they've had play. I don't know if you saw that with giant exhibits.
I saw that, yeah.
Very colorful and interesting. So it's not a boring art museum really to take children to. And Art Venture is great. They have all kinds of STEAM activities there. You can play dress up, paint, build things.
Legos and theater. We love taking our children there. They just have a blast, and we get into it too. I mean, before long, we're having painting. We're side by side with them painting and building things. It's just a really fun imagination place. And with the TAUBMAN, like I said, it's pretty manageable, but it's so impressive. Not only when you walk in, you see this 3-story massive atrium. It's beautiful. It's got great changing displays. But also along our skyline, if you remember earlier, you may have seen an unusually shaped building.
Right.
That's TAUBMAN, and it really did change our skyline.
It did. And there was a little controversy about it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember. My parents are still not on board with that architecture, but
yeah.
I love it.
I know.
It brings
I
a little
love
interest.
And they also offer great classes. It's a great place for birthday parties, summer camps. And one thing I love is that the museum is always free, except for some of the special exhibits.
Very cool. So most of the things that you're hearing about today are free or pretty affordable to go to and relatively centrally located in Roanoke City. But I don't want to, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about some of the other places. Every single part of Roanoke has something of interest for families. So don't feel like you just need to come to Roanoke City downtown. There's something for families wherever you go through the valley.
All right, so we mentioned to you earlier, we are at Kids Square here in downtown Roanoke, and Kids Square is situated inside of Center in the Square, which is a collection of small museums where you could spend one day in each museum to kind of take care of your entertainment for the kids and learning and that type of thing throughout the week. So some of the museums you'll find here inside of Center in the Square are going to be, a couple of my favorites are going to be the Pinball Museum and then STARCADE, which is new, and I have not been able to attend that one yet. But they've got old school video games, so none of this Nintendo or Xbox, but this is like old school, like Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, those types of things. And those of you who know it, you know it, right? So those are the types that we'll enjoy the most. And then we've also got Kids Square we've mentioned, and then behind us over here is the Science Museum, right?
Right.
And what do they got going on right now for some virtual learning, I think,
So
or something?
there they have the lab, which is an alternative to homeschooling, you know, for the hybrid schedule we have, if our kids are completely virtual.
Yeah.
They have lots of different exhibits in there. One of my favorites, I think is least known, is called The Bubble. And it's like a sensory calm down space.
Wow.
And then also some Montessori-based activities. So.
What's fun? Also found inside of Center in the Square is going to be the Harrison Museum of African American Culture, and then also Mill Mountain Theater, where you can see some. Is it primarily kids, or is it kids and adults whenever they have their performances there?
They have something for everyone.
You'll have a multitude of options as far as checking out theatrical productions at Mill Mountain Theater inside of Center in the Square.
So, and also in the building, in the lobby, are some aquariums, which are pretty new for us here. And then on the very top are the rooftop gardens. So you can actually see the whole, downtown area. and they have a living wall and things like that upstairs.
Yeah, and one time we were up here, they were setting up for a wedding up there too. So, you know, speaking of families and creating new families, and that is an amazing spot to hang out and have a wedding, reception, all those types of things, because you get to see downtown, you get to have some of that vibrancy, and a really cool spot here on top of Center in the Square.
Yeah, that's called the Penthouse.
The Penthouse, nice, I like that.
So another family-friendly activity that you can do throughout the Roanoke Valley is participate on some of our Greenway trails. They're so much fun. There's a ton of them too.
Yeah. From end to end, when they're complete, you'll be able to do a whole marathon.
What?
Yeah.
That is really, you'll see how do the little photo bomb, video bomb. Well, a whole marathon, that is really neat. So that connectivity, you could really go from one part of town to the other very easily.
Right.
Walking, biking. There's other things to do as you travel along the greenways too, like fishing,
Playgrounds, a lot of
tons of playgrounds. Yeah.
You can rent bikes. You can rent tubes to tube.
Oh, tell us about bike rentals. Where would you get that?
Yeah, so you can get an Underdog Bikes or Roanoke Mountain Adventures. Underdog actually has adult-sized big wheels, which are really fun.
How cool is that? Like the old school.
Yeah,
wheels.
like they have a big front wheel,
Oh.
kind of like those fancy motorcycles, like the choppers, but big wheels, no
Oh,
motors.
that is so fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. And you constantly see people out boating, whether it's kayaking or canoeing down the river, fishing, and just sitting down and relaxing. You know, we have really great air quality here. So just taking some time to kick back and relax in some of the parks and along the Greenway is a great family-friendly activity too.
And there's also some festivals that happen along the Greenway in Smith Park.
Yes.
Birthday parties along the Greenway. There's new this year, in one section they painted the bridge pillars to look like a village. I don't know if you've seen
I
that.
have not seen that.
Yeah, with like big sand pit to make sand castles.
Oh, how
So
cool.
that's neat too.
I love that creativity, and you see that more and more. You know, I grew up here in Roanoke City, but things have changed so much as I've come back, and I really appreciate it as an adult, and as you know, looking through it as a parent too. There's so many things for kids to do and teenagers, so it's a lot. It's a really neat city for that.
And it's also a really neat place to live around the Greenway, like in South
True.
Roanoke or
Wasena.
Wysena, yeah.
Yeah, you could hop out your back door and get on the Greenway, grab a cup of joe, and hop back to work,
Yeah.
commute wherever you want to go.
All right, so we are talking more about outdoor activities. We talked about greenways, or Chris and Beth did, and now we're going to talk about Carvin's Cove. And if you see right back there, back behind us there's Chris. She's fishing today here at Kid Square. And she's practicing, so she's ready to go catch the big one out at Carvin's Cove. So Carvin's Cove is the second largest municipally owned park in the United States. And then it's over 12,000 acres of trails and water reservoir. So there are tons of activities out there that you can do as a family. One of the things we recently did was we went with our life group from church, went out to the trails, and we took a long hike through the woods. So the kids got to play with toads, they found frogs, they got to climb on trees, they got to just have a walk out in nature, enjoying fellowship with other friends, as well as just the beauty that we've got around us. And then while we were there, we had tons of mountain bike cyclists and enthusiasts that were coming up and down the trail. So they were very conscientious, wide trails, so lots of fun to do there. And what else can we do there, Beth?
So you can also rent kayaks and rowboats and paddle boats.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also just some great places to put your hammock up and grill out. There's picnic shelters,
Oh, yeah.
lots of trails. There's also a couple of major events happening
Right,
there. So Carvin's Cove, you normally cannot swim in. You can fish and hike and bike all around it.
Okay.
But starting next year, they're going to allow the Ironman to swim through there.
Oh, sweet. So we're having an Ironman competition here in Roanoke, and they're going to actually get to swim at Carvin's Cove?
Right, yeah.
How awesome
Which
is
is
that?
a big deal. I
Yeah,
guess.
it is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
But it's beautiful, and while you're there, you can also see another one of our famous spots, which is McAfee's Knob.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so you can climb to McAfee's Knob from there. Is that right?
No, but you can see it. It's,
Okay.
It's across the valley, but
Okay,
you
that's
can
what
see
I
it.
thought. Okay. So it's part of that. What is McAfee's Knob is part of the Appalachian Trail, and then there's also horseback riding at Carvin's Cove for you equestrian enthusiasts.
All right, if that's a wrap, I hope you enjoyed learning more about family-friendly activities in Roanoke Valley. But you know what? We were thinking about it. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, so let's not forget, there are sports activities of both you can participate in or you can go watch. So we have the Rail Yard Dogs, which is a minor league hockey team.
Yes.
And then we've also got the Salem Red Sox, which is a minor league baseball team over in Salem.
So fun. What fun it is to spend time as a family at the ball field, checking out a game, eating some hot dogs. Just saying, can't wait for that.
Yes.
Yeah. They also have lots of theme nights. And so now we're actually above this market, the farmer's market, and there's also things like movies in the market in the summertime and Harvest Saturdays and just all kinds of family fun. And all of that's also free to attend.
Yeah, and it's fun just to come downtown, hang out at the farmer's market on a weekend, on a Saturday, where you can take some food and produce home, and you can just kind of check things out, get to know the local vendors at the farmer's market with the family, stroll up and down. So lots to do. And then if you are even thinking about moving to the Roanoke Valley, please let us know. Make sure that you sign up for our newsletter so that you can get notified and get information twice a month about the Roanoke Valley via our newsletter. The link for that's going to be in the comments below. And we look forward to seeing you real soon.
All right, thank you. Bye.